For this craft technique, we're going to use marbles. So as you can guess, it's called marble painting. So here I have some marbles in a container. I'm actually using 3 marbles per container. And we're going to make something that has a stone effect to it. And this is the 10 Commandments here. And it's very simple. Your preparation, all you have to do is to have a piece of paper that is cut to the shape that you want. You're going to use a box lid or some type of lid that has a flat bottom on it. Then once you get to class, you'll have your containers with the marbles and you're going to add paint. So I'm going to be using some black paint and some white paint for this particular one. The children never have to touch the paint, which is non-messy. So we're going to add the black marbles into the container and our white marbles. You want to make sure that they're coated all the way around with the paint. When I put them in, I like to put them in off of the paper so that when they start rolling, you don't get big globs of paint on the paper. And then the children just roll the marbles, and they can roll as long as they want. And when they're finished, and there you can see you have a stone look to it. Now this can also be used just for a background on a picture. Here I've used the purple and the yellow paint, and just before I put the scripture on, we just rolled it onto the paint, so just even using it for a background. So a very easy way to add some texture and some dimension to your paper and non-messy. For this craft, we're going to use marbles, but we're going to use them in an oatmeal container. And this particular craft was done with the water being rolled in the oatmeal container, along with the shoreline was also rolled in the oatmeal container. And it's Jesus walking on the water. So to prep this, you'll need to get your paper with any cuts or however you want it shaped to go into the oatmeal container. And one thing that you want to make sure of is that the side that you want the paint to actually be on is the side that is facing out in the oatmeal container so that the marbles will roll on it. We're going to stick it in so that it's lining the inside of there, the container here. For this one, I'm going to use 3 different colors. I'm going to use a turquoise, a blue, and a white paint. And we'll make sure that they're thoroughly coated. Drop them in. Make sure you put the lid on. Then give it to the children and they'll start rolling them around. And I like to make sure that they roll it back and forth also as they're rolling it. That way the whole paper gets covered. And when you take it out, you have your paper that has a water effect to it. So now I'd like to show you how to go ahead and put this craft together. This is a moving craft and Jesus is going to be walking on the water, and I want to show you how to make it so that he actually moves. So we have our water here, and it'll be important to glue it in the right places. As you can see here, there's a slit, and this is the part that we want to put the glue on. Not on the other sides, but just on that middle section of the slit. And then we want to put it on the sides and the top, leaving the bottom open. So you will need to help the children and show them exactly where to place the glue so that the bottom doesn't get glued together, because then Jesus won't be able to walk. Make sure that that center strip is glued down securely. Then as you notice, I can put in the stick through the bottom, and it's going to come up through the bottom and up through the top. We'll then take a little bit of glue, and you're going to put the glue right where there's an opening there on the stick and glue Jesus on. And you want to make sure that he glues and dries before you start moving him around. We'll add a little bit of glue to the bottom here of the shoreline. Glue his boat on up at the top here. Glue on the boat, which the children will glue on. So we want it in the water. And here we have with some sponge clouds, and Jesus can then come walking on the water.